Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I welcome you again with another new video lecture on this chapter. We were discussing about the planets in the last video lecture, and we said that the planets, the simple way to identify whether it is planet or whether it is star is that the stars will twinkle. Okay, the stars will twinkle and the planets will not twinkle in the night sky. And the path around which these planets revolve around the star, around this sun, if we talk about our solar system, is called the orbit. Okay, that's called orbit, along which these planets revolve. As you can see here, these are the orbits of these particular planets. For example, this is the orbit of this Venus, as you can see here, and this is the orbit of this Earth, as you can see here, and so on. This is the orbit of Mercury, okay, and this is the Sun here. And besides revolving around the Sun, the planets also rotate on their own axis. For example, let's take the example of Earth. The Earth revolves around the Sun and it also rotates on its own axis, just like this top. Okay, this top rotates, just like this top rotates on its axis. This is its axis. Okay, and this top rotates on its axis like this. It will rotate on its axis, and in the same way the planets also rotates on their own axis, and they also revolve. Okay, they also revolve around the planet, around the Sun. So there are two motions of the planet, if we talk. One is spinning on its own axis, and second is rotating along the Sun on its own orbit. So there are two motions of the planet. And some planets are known to have moons or satellites. We call them moons or satellites, which revolve around the planet. For example, the Earth has its moon, or we call it a satellite. The satellite is one which revolves around the planet. For example, our Earth is a planet, and the moon revolves around the Earth. We call moon as moon of the Earth or satellite of the Earth. Okay. So similarly, there are other planets which have moons or satellites revolving around them. So there are also man-made satellites, okay, which revolve around the Earth, That are called artificial satellites. Okay, so there are many satellites which rotate around the Earth. So as far as artificial satellites are concerned, they help us in communication. They are used as for communication purpose, and they are used to study the distant universe, or they are used for many other purposes. So the first artificial satellite was Soviet Sputnik, which was launched in 1957. Okay, it was launched in 1957, and India had the first satellite, which was named as Aryabhata. As you can see here, this is Aryabhata, and it was launched in April 19, 1975. This was India's first satellite. So this is also a satellite, India satellite, GSAT 31. So there are many Indian satellites. For example, INSAT series is there, INSAT first, INSAT second, and GSAT series are there. And these are the artificial satellites. They are used in communication purposes, they are used to study the Earth and many other purposes. So let's now study about the planets, these 8 planets, which are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. So we will study one by one about these 8 planets. First one is Mercury. Okay, which in Hindi is called Budh. Okay, it's called Budh in Hindi, and this is the nearest planet to the Sun. Okay, the planet Mercury is nearest to the Sun, and it is the smallest planet in our solar system. It is the smallest planet in our solar system. So this is the first and closest planet to the Sun. The first and closest planet to the Sun is the smallest planet in our solar system. So this is easy to remember, that the first planet which is closest to the Sun is the smallest planet in our solar system. And this planet Mercury takes about 87.97 days, or we can say it approximately takes about 88 days. Okay, it takes about 88 days to complete one revolution. Say for example this is the Sun. And this is Mercury's orbit. Okay, this is Mercury's orbit. So if Mercury is here, it will take 88 days to revolve around this orbit. Okay, so its time period is 88 days. Just like for our Earth, it is 366 days. Okay, so in 366 days or 67 days, our Earth completes one revolution. In the same way, this Mercury planet completes one revolution in 88 days. So if I talk about its satellites, it has no satellite. Satellite means the body, the celestial body which revolves around the planet. Okay, that's called a satellite. So it has got no satellite. And if I talk about its mass, it is 3.3. The mass of the Mercury is 3.3. It is 3.3 approximately. Okay, it's approximate mass, 3.3 into 10 to the power 23 kg. This is the mass of the Mercury, 3.3 into 10 to the 10 raised power 23 kg. And it's visible only at places where trees or buildings do not obstruct the view of the horizon. And so it's because it is observed just before sunrise or just after sunset. Okay, near the horizons. So it can be seen just before sunrise or just after sunset near the horizon. So if your horizon is covered with trees and these mountains, you cannot see, you cannot observe it. Now let's talk about Venus, which is also called Shukra in Hindi. So as you can see in this Venus here, this is the brightest planet in the sky. Okay? The brightest planet in the sky, and it is nearest planetary neighbor to the Earth. Okay. And sometimes Venus appears in the eastern sky before sunrise, and sometimes it appears in the western sky just after the sunset. If you wake up early in the morning when sun has not set up, you can locate it in the east side. Okay, you can locate it in the east side. And if you are looking in the evening, you can locate it in the west side. So Venus appears in the eastern sky before sunrise. Sometimes it appears in the western sky after sunset. Okay, after sunset, and therefore it's also called a morning or an evening star. So we call it as a morning star and evening star. It's called a morning star and evening star. Okay, although it's not a star, it's a planet. It's called just because it is the brightest planet in the sky. It is visible with the naked eye. You can easily spot the Venus, this Venus planet in the eastern or western sky in the morning and in the evening. And Venus has no moon or satellite of its own, and the rotation of Venus on its axis is somewhat unusual. It rotates from east to west, where the Earth rotates from west to east. For example, this is north, this is south, and this is east, and this is west. Our Earth rotates from west to east like this. From west to east. Okay, our Earth rotates like this. This is the rotation of our Earth, but the Venus rotates in the opposite way. It rotates from east to west. Okay, it rotates from east to west like this. It will rotate from east to west. So it's quite opposite to our Earth's rotation. So this is the Venus in natural shape. Okay, and we talk about that it has got no satellite, and its orbital period is 224.7 days. Okay, 224.7 days. It is its orbital period. That means it will complete one revolution in 224.7 days. And if we talk about its mass, it is about approximately 4.9 into 10 raised power 24 kg. This is its mass.